Hello, welcome back to the Rosa podcast. We are back after Christmas. We're back with hopefully a good video ready for the January transfer window. But we have got a guest, not just myself and Duck this week. We're joined by Adam. So how are you, Adam? Do you have a good
Uh,
Christmas?
I'm good, thank you. I had a good Christmas. What about you, Duka? You have a good Christmas, you too, or
Yeah, mine was all right.
Yeah, nice, nice. Just
Yeah.
short and sweet.
Right, back to the
Yeah,
football.
just busy back with all the football. That's what it's been.
That's it.
But
yeah,
That's what Christmas is all about. Football, football
yeah,
and darts, and a lot of
yeah,
alcohol. But drink sensibly.
yeah, we're not doing. Yeah, we're not going to go down that spiral
Fucking
again.
hell, yeah.
But, um,
Adam, what is this today's video about?
this is coming out. This will come out started January. We thought we'd do two or three players that all the traditional big six need to buy in January, or who we think they should buy. Um, Obviously, we were going to do just the top six, but it's a bit. This is more of a range because of the fact you've got Tottenham and Spurs down in 14th and 11th, and obviously Man
Wait,
City.
sorry,
Where
sorry. You said Tottenham and Spurs.
did I? I meant I meant Man United and Spurs
yeah.
Fuck.
down there. No,
You've already
no,
had a stinker. You've already
yeah,
had
all
a
right,
stinker, I
okay,
think.
okay. So I haven't recovered from Christmas, and then we're down there. So that's how we're going to do it. So. Just a bit about each player, why you should buy them, that sort of thing, and then yeah, see if you guys agree with it and stuff. Hopefully, there's nothing too stupid. Like we're not going to be saying like Mbappe to Man United and random stuff like that, but like semi-realistic stuff that could
Yeah.
actually happen. And then yeah, we'll start. So we'll start with Manchester United, and we'll start with the guest. Why not?
Okay. All right. Pressure on me then. Do you know what I mean?
No pressure, no
Okay.
pressure.
So you said two signings to me. Obviously, I don't know if you guys have made three or whatever, but I've gone with a centre mid and left back or left wing back. Um, just because I think they're the areas that they need to strengthen. Um, the centre mid option I've gone with Baleba from Brighton.
Yeah,
Maybe it's a bit too early to tell whether he's going to turn into something like Caicedo or McAllister. But I think from what he's shown this season, he's probably been Brighton's best player. Um, I know there's been João Pedro, Mitoma, and crazily Danny Welbeck. I mean, he's somehow been like
yeah,
one of their best players somehow. I don't, you know, but yeah, I think Baleba will be a really good signing for United. I think Ugarte hasn't really taken off since his signing. I know he struggled for minutes under Ten Hag at the start of the season, but even under Amorim, he's done okay. Mainu as well. I mean, obviously he had his breakthrough season last year, but again this season I don't think we've seen what we saw last season from him.
hmm,
And I think Fernandez cannot play in that too well. I think, in my opinion, I don't think Fernandez has been that good this season. I think he's definitely in Amorim's plans to be playing further forward. And he's got like three red cards this season as well, hasn't he, Fernandez? So, I
yeah,
mean, you
yeah,
can't really rely on him to play in the two. That's another thing for me as well. You've got to look at someone who can play in the midfield too. Players like Ericsson and Casemiro do not have the legs to be playing in a two. And I think Baleba, who has been playing in a two, with João Pedro a bit more advanced in a sort of 10 role, or second striker role, whatever. I think Baleba probably is the best option for the midfield. And then the left back or left wing back, they've been playing Dallo out there, who I don't think you can't play with a right footed. You know, it's not Philip Lahm anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like this is
yeah.
you can't do
No,
that anymore. Um,
especially wing back, I think it makes a difference.
yeah, so I've gone with Alphonso Davies. I think a rumor
Okay.
that has been circulating since sort of Amorim came in, and even before Amorim, I think he was kind of a rumor circulating when
Yeah.
sort of at the beginning of this season. Maybe it's a bit unrealistic for the January transfer window, considering United have spent quite a bit, so they need to
Yeah.
probably offload. However, I think they need a left wing back. So I think even if Luke Shaw comes back from injury, he's going to get injured again. So Malacia hasn't really done enough to
Well, he's
give him like a
disappeared for a
starting
year,
spot.
didn't he? So
Yeah,
that's
exactly. Well, I think he's been more than a year. I
yeah.
think
I don't know where he went. Yeah.
he's been away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Davies is a good signing. So yeah, they're my two options. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think touching on definitely the Davies one, I think he's out of contract at the end of the season as well, I believe.
Oh, if that's the case, then
Um,
that's just a stupid January. Oh,
no,
didn't do my
because you could
research on
get
him.
him for even cheaper then. You could get him like if you
Yeah,
want
well, true. You can
20
get him
mil
for
now,
free. Yeah,
or you
but
wait off. But if you get him now, you almost force him Bayern's hand a little bit to get him, and you could get him for
yeah.
30 million. Which okay,
Well,
yes,
if his
but
contract runs out at the end of the season, then you'll get him for free. He'll just join
But
it.
then
He'll just join in
you're
summer.
also challenging other people for him. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I guess.
that's
Yeah.
the only thing. But I've gone for so I was looking at centre mid as well because I did think, and I was like, I'm going to give Ugarte the benefit of the doubt because I've not seen enough of him. And
Mm,
obviously, because it's a new system, I'm like, Main, you could work into it maybe.
yeah.
But I've also gone for left wing back, and I've gone for a striker. Actually, and I've gone for a number 10 slash winger because that's the sort of
Wait,
profile
you've gone
that
with four players?
no three number
Oh,
10
okay,
slash winger
okay.
is what he
All
is.
right, yeah.
Um, so I went for eight Nori at left wing back. So I thought, do you know what, he's been cooking at
Yeah.
Wolves,
Just
but
good option.
he's going to be a difficult buy in January, obviously because of how good he is. But he's also shown in recent weeks his little like tantrums and stuff he's been having. So there could be more to it
Yeah.
about Nori that maybe he's not happy there. And I think if the right offer comes in for him, maybe he could get lured away because he should be at a top club, and I think he
Yeah.
could definitely do well in a wing back.
Two assists today as well against
Yeah,
Tottenham.
again, yeah. And that's
So
the thing, he's shown that he can do a bit of everything. And he's the fact he's just left footed on the left, it makes such a difference,
yeah.
especially wing back. Um, and then I went for Osimhen as a striker because obviously he's out in Turkey at the moment, isn't he, after falling out with
Yeah.
Napoli. And I think he's out of contract in the season at Napoli as well, or something like that. That's why they loaned him, haven't they?
Yeah.
And you'd be able to get him on a cheap. He's still only 26. I feel like he's been around for ages,
Yeah.
the men. Um, but I'm not too sure on striker because of the fact they did just buy Rasmus and bought in Xerxes, even though I don't rate Xerxes at all. But they've got a 60, 70 mil pound Rasmus. You can't just bench him.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. And then lastly, I went number 10 slash he's a slash winger. This might be a bit extreme. I went for Eze from Palace
No, I don't think that's extreme.
because gone are the days of Sir Alex. They'd have bought any good English player back in the day and they'd have done it. And I think he's
Mm.
been a bit poor this season for Palace. I think he got an assist or something today or scored
Scored today, yeah.
or today. But he's not been at it this season. That's only his fourth goal contribution in like 15 games this season. That's nowhere near at it.
Mm.
Uh, and you could probably get him for 40 odd million, I think, just because
Yeah.
he's
I think
had
his
in
contract might be up soon. Or did he sign a
yeah,
new contract?
he's had
I think
injury
it's up soon.
problems and he could be
Yeah.
someone I think United and it's still Man United. I know I hate when saying that, but it's still a step
Yeah.
up, isn't it, for him? So I
And
think that
they're still an attractive club as well.
oh
Like
yeah, and you'll
we'll
get
get on
double
to
the pay
Spurs
for
soon,
it.
but in terms of attraction,
Yeah,
like they're still
yeah, exactly. It's still
yeah.
got for I don't know how long that will last, but I do think for now they're still at a point where they can use it. I think maybe if it gets worse,
Yeah.
maybe it'll start to fall. But that's who I've gone with. What about you, Ducker?
I've gone down the centre mid route. I think they definitely do need another midfielder. They've just got an aging midfield at the minute. Even Bruno Fernandes is looking past it. I've gone Douglas Luiz. Hasn't really set the world alight at Juventus at the minute. Juventus are sitting in sixth in the Serie A. He'll probably be looking at moving away. Done very well
Yeah.
in England. Man United need a midfielder. He can definitely play in a two. We've seen that his time at Villa. Obviously had a 10 in front of him, but as a sort of a midfield two is him and McGinn throughout the majority of his time there. So Douglas Luiz in centre mid. And then I've gone for a winger, sort of like a winger that can play very, in terms of like a narrow formation, can play sort of direct but centrally, is Kvaratskhelia of Napoli.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Good one.
I don't know if it's a likely signing, but it hasn't really set the world alight at Napoli since his sort of breakthrough season. So, and I think he's probably looking for a move now. He's spent a lot of time in Serie A. I think he'll probably want to play in England, play in the Premier League, and I think Man United's probably a good opportunity for him to do that.
I think I could definitely see him at United shirt. I feel like he's
Yeah,
sort
he
of
just
someone
screamed
I
like a
think
United
Yeah.
player, doesn't he?
they would spend like a lot of money on him. I think, and it
I
was
really
sort of
like the Douglas Luiz shout because I think he was. I know him and is Alicia Lehman
oh yeah, the
his
two of them went
missus.
over there, didn't they?
Yeah, it's like the couple. All the memes
Yeah,
coming out like couple signing. It's like the first
yeah,
ever start.
yeah.
But I don't
I
think he's
thought,
got
yeah.
many minutes under Juve this
No,
season. I think
he
it's
struggled.
been sort of Thuram and Locatelli and then Coop Miners and well, I
Mm.
think that's a good shout actually for and I think he'd probably like that move because as
You could
well it's a
definitely get him
step up
back
from
on
Villa.
loan, or something, yeah, for like
Yeah,
6 months, and then see where you go from there.
yeah,
No, I think United would definitely take all them players. To be honest, I think if they got all them, they definitely
yeah,
jump up the table. But moving on, we'll go a little bit higher. We'll go for Spurs. Obviously, they're a bit of a mess at the moment because of I think a lot of his injuries personally has killed
yeah.
them. Manager's not helped. I'm not the massive Ange fan, but I think there's room for him. But starting off, I've gone for a defensive backup. Former Chelsea man, actually, Tomori. He's not been playing much at
Oh,
Milan. I
okay.
don't know if he'll do it because of the link, but I also think he might do it based on the fact that like he's only started 6 games this season in the league. He's
Mm.
only played 9 times. Like, he's clearly out of favour a little bit. He's not quite been at it this season. I think he's been rumoured to also be looking at Juve. But I think he might also do it for his own England career to think,
Yeah, that's a good
look
point.
out. And I think if he wants to move back to the Prem, he'd play a lot at Spurs, obviously because of Mickey van der Ven and Romero's constant injuries. He'd play. They're a decent team. Okay, yes, the ex-Chelsea might be a thing, but
Nah, I
I
doubt
don't
it.
know how much
Nah.
loyalty he has really. Like, I don't know. But I've gone for him because I don't think he'd be too expensive, to be honest, because of he's now 27 again. I feel like he's been around forever. Um, and then another one is a goalkeeper, just because obviously Fraser Forster's
Is he
shit.
not good enough? He's not good
He-
enough.
He's dreadful.
He's
Simple. He's
unreal,
not
mate.
good. He's dreadful. I've gone for Keylor Navas because he's not got a club, and so it's a free transfer. He might be 38, but the
He's
Yeah,
going to retire soon, Adam. Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
mate.
no, no, no. But hear me out.
I
Hear me
think
out.
he's gonna die soon.
He is, but Vicario is meant to be back like February. So what's the point in going out and spending loads of money on an older keeper like just to sit on the bench? Like Keylor Navas can come in. He did a job when he was at Forest, wasn't it? Was
Forest,
it?
yeah.
Yeah,
To be
he
fair,
was
oh
all
my
right there.
God, that is so niche.
That was such a
I
weird.
remember that. Yeah,
Yeah, that was strange. And like
he
he's
performed
obviously
quite well there. To be fair,
yeah, and I think that would be a good free transfer. Like it's realistic because you're not going to buy many teams' first choice keeper for to play a
Yeah, they're not
month.
looking for a first choice. They're looking probably for a young keeper to sit on their
Yeah,
bench.
but
yeah.
you're going to be scouting goalkeepers that are playing,
I think
aren't you?
it's probably a good 6 month contract
That's what I mean.
kind
It's
of thing,
just a
isn't it?
short
So
term
true.
Yeah,
thing. And then in
yeah.
January or in the summer, sorry, when the two of them are, because Fraser Forster must be like 40 as well. The two of them are 40, then they
I don't
go, oh,
actually know how he's ended up at
you
Spurs.
keep Vicario. But yeah, somehow he's there. But that's who I've gone with. Ducker, what about you? We'll jump to you.
I've gone with Luca Burr, centre half from RB Leipzig. Obviously, Spurs' defensive issues keep arising, and if Romero and Van der Ven just cannot keep themselves fit, they need another sort of first choice centre half to sort of make sure that Van der Ven and Romero are getting rested and aren't constantly getting injured. I think Luca is a perfect signing. French centre half, very good at RB Leipzig, plays in a back four, can play in a back five, suits Spurs' system very well. And I've gone for a very, very niche option. I've gone for sort of like a backup striker. George Ilenikena. He's at AS Monaco at the minute. He was at Royal Antwerp when they won the Belgium League and made it into the Champions League. He's 18 years old, one of the most exciting strikers in Europe at the minute. Hasn't really set the world alight at Monaco. Has scored a few goals. Has been playing mainly been playing second fiddle to Balogun, of course. But I think as a young striker coming through the ranks, having him sort of back up Solanke and also then push Solanke further
Yeah.
to improve his game, and having a young striker with that sort of just his prowess at the minute at 18 years old, push Solanke all the way, will improve his game. And it'd be a good move for him as well. George Ilenikena, God, it's fucking tongue twister, I tell
And
you.
that sounds yeah.
But no, he's a cracking player. I also used him in Korea a couple of years back, and I just loved him. So,
Nice.
must see him in England.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a few Monaco youngsters flying about. I think there's that 10. I can't again. I think it's like Ben. So I can't remember his name, but and there's that Akliouche as well, the winger.
Ben Seguir, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the attacking mid. Yeah, but because I think they've popped up in the Champions League a few times. Them talented attacking players. Yeah, they're two good shouts to be fair.
Gonna get the Monaco era back again, like Bernardo Silva, Fabinho,
Yeah, yeah,
You got
Mbappe.
Minamino there now as well. Minamino's
Yeah,
cooking in
okay, you're right,
Monaco.
Adam. We'll move on.
yeah. We got to reel it in now. You got to reel it in with that.
And then who do you reckon, Dublin?
Um, I think again, like you both have gone with a centre back. They have to. Can't be having Archie Gray although he's probably doing a better job than Dragusin,
Hmm.
in my opinion. You can't be having Archie Gray in centre back. So I've actually gone with staying in the league. When I was mentioned about attraction with Spurs, I think it's difficult because for me, I've just never seen Tottenham as an attractive club. I feel like that's probably why they've always tried to buy within the the Premier League because kind of that's the only place they're known. Whereas I think outside the what do you think that's an
No, I
outrageous
rate
shout?
it. No, I rate it. I rate it. Just
No,
keep.
because I think like outside
I know what you
England,
mean. Yeah, like
I
maybe
just
like
don't see like because
They're not
they've
going to
not
pull the
it's
big players on the other five.
no.
yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah. I think like the youngster shout is pretty good.
Mm.
But I think in terms of like Tomori, he's probably like, oh, I'm not going Spurs, man. I'm going Juve. Like, what's the point?
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. Yeah.
so I've gone with staying in the league with this one. I've gone with Zabani from Bournemouth.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, Bournemouth are doing better than Tottenham this season, but I think in terms of look, Spurs could still look. I know Ange apparently wins his trophies in his second season. They're still in the
Yeah.
Europa League, still in the Carabao. Yeah, they're still in the Carabao, but United. I think Sabani is a good option. I think he's a really good ball playing centre back. Maybe not as pacey as Romero or definitely not Van der Ven, but maybe not as pacey as Romero. But in terms of ball playing ability, I think he's really good. He's a good defender as well. And obviously, Bournemouth have been doing really well with him and the youngster. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Oh,
Hoyson.
yeah. Hoisted.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
kind of just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Them two have been really good. I watched the Bournemouth Fulham game today because Iwobi and Semenyo are both in my fantasy team, so I had close tabs. Don't tell me how I watched it. I don't know how I watched it, man. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to get done up by the dodgy fire stick.
he's abroad. He's abroad.
Don't know how,
Watching.
no,
Yeah.
yeah. I
There's
just
no
got.
fire stick
I'm not in
involved.
England right now. I'm not in England. I'm in Hong
Yeah.
Kong. So you know that's where it's at right now, man.
You're going to
But yeah, I
stream
think
carefully.
Yeah.
yeah. Any more disclaimers before we carry on with this? Anyway, yeah. So for me, Ilya Zabani, I've gone with. Been really good this season. I think it'd be a good. Look, they need a centre back. My next, it's out of two, both centre mids. I think they need to strengthen up that midfield. I don't know what it is, but they're just not. Bentancur scored today, but I feel like he's going to have a stinker soon. And then Bissouma, that balloon instant, mate. You can't be having
Yeah.
another instant like that. And I just
He's
don't think
very
he's
hit or miss as
is good
well.
enough.
He's got
Yeah, I think
mistakes in him. Yeah.
they're all very inconsistent. So I've gone with either or. I've gone with a Chelsea player myself, newly signed in this summer, Dewsbury Hall. It might be a weird
Good
one, but
shout.
I think
I think it's a
I
very good
think
shout.
it's
Yeah.
he's had a good link with Maddison with Leicester. I think he's eager to get minutes, and I think he is actually a really good player. I think we've got a problem. I think he's too good for the Conference League. You know,
Mm.
you can't play. It's like trying to play Felix and Nkunku in these type of competitions. You know,
Yeah.
playing against Rotherham and I think we've got Morecambe in the FA Cup where you're going to see these players. It's like where it's just going to be
Yeah.
like 8-0 Chelsea.
He
Like
should be playing in the Prem like week in,
yeah,
week out, or at least every other week, but they're
I
not.
know that there are links with Villa. I think there's. I don't know if if he is linked with Spurs, but I know he's linked with Villa. Um, but I think he'd be a good option for them. I think he's energetic, a decent dribbler. I think again under Maresca, if Maresca is playing good football with Chelsea, then I think he must have some decent knowledge from Maresca that he's had playing under him with Leicester as well.
Mm.
But I think yeah, he's a good energetic player, which I think is something that Tottenham is all about. I mean, he played the majority of games for Leicester last season, so I don't think stamina's good or injuries are going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Which again just seems to be not even just a defence with Tottenham, but I mean, Maddison, I don't think picks up many injuries. But if you look at Bissouma and Sarr, I think they catch a few injuries. Bentancur struggled to really stay fit. See, I think that could be a sign. I don't think it'd be that expensive either. So that's a decent option. The other centre mid, I don't know if you've heard of him, Edison from Atalanta.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, they're doing well as
he
well.
Brazilian centre mid. Again, it's very difficult when you're playing for a really good Italian club, currently in the top four potential
Yeah, that
title
time is
winners.
crazy, isn't
Yeah,
it? Like,
exactly. Yeah,
really
so
close. Yeah,
it's difficult really to leave that and then come to Spurs, which again comes from my point of attraction. It's
yeah.
difficult because you could potentially be joining a team who, well, nowhere near
There's no
a title
guarantee. Like,
race,
yeah, there's not
no
even a
guarantee
guarantee
of
of
like
like
a
Champions
European
League.
spot. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's the thing. I
Um,
get you. Yeah.
so you're kind of comfortable at Atalanta, doing really well there. No problems with game time, unlike Dewsbury Hall. But
Yeah.
if Spurs want to try and push out a bit and try and, I think they need to make a signing that puts them on a level like the big six, who
Mm.
are known for making big signings. I think Spurs have just fallen short. Like, I mean, really, like 70 million on Solanke. Like, you wouldn't see Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, United pay that for Solanke, in my opinion. I know you did with Liverpool a few seasons ago, like 30 million, but I mean,
Yeah,
now
we bought
it doesn't
Nunes
look
for
that
80.
bad now.
We can't really talk too
Yeah,
much.
but I think, at least with
No, I
Nunes,
get you. No,
like,
I hear it. Yeah. I
yeah,
think
like
for
he could. But my point, Nunes could be a title winner this season. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
standard.
crazy to sound, but like, it's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, they're my
No, I
two
think there's a lot of
decisions
good
really.
ones there. I think Tottenham, as you
Yeah,
said, it's a tricky club to do because they're usually quite tight with their money, and then
yeah,
the attraction they really have is the whole new stadium London thing. In
yeah.
my
Their infrastructure is really nice.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I
that's
know,
where it's
I
down
know
to the
Levy tries to
but
build
yeah,
up the area rather than the club, which I
yeah.
get why fans are annoyed. But that stadium, man, like, I
But
mean, it could potentially be better than Wembley.
oh yeah, 100. It's definitely up there as one of the best in the
Yeah,
country. But moving on, we'll go to what should have been the best team in the country. Man City, obviously struggling at the moment in fifth or sixth at the moment of recording. Um, and touch on a few here. Obviously, they could buy pretty much anyone they wanted because of the money they got. Um, so I'll just start off with that one. Now I've got Mateus Cunha as one for a backup to not just Haaland but to all of them, because Foden's been awful this season. All the players haven't really been at it. And Cunha's contributed to like 48%, I think, of Wolves' goals I've got here. 10 goals, 4 assists this season. He's been unbelievable, and I think he's almost playing his way. He wants a move, I think, without asking for a move. He's almost playing just like sort of in the shot window, trying to get someone to look at him. And I think, to be fair, probably every single team in the top that we're doing today, Cunha could probably go to, and you'd be fair enough.
yeah,
But I've mainly focused on Man City just because they don't have that Haaland backup, which they had in Alvarez. And Cunha's that kind of similar to Alvarez, where he can play anywhere, sort of behind the striker, on the wings as a striker. Um, so I've gone for him. And then, as they need a number six desperately, quite obviously, Martin Zubimendi is the
yeah.
obvious one.
I feel like it's probably on all of our lists.
Yeah, obviously linked with Liverpool in the summer. I think he supposedly regretted not moving because they've not been as good. But you saw what you could do in the Euros, straight sort of replacement for Rodri in that game. Simple, get that done, and I think they push on. And then I've got a centre back in Mark Gahey if they want to spend the money, as
Hmm.
they've had injury problems with their other centre backs. Diaz is often injured, Stones is always injured. Ake, they've all had troubles. Like, whereas Mark Gahey's played every single game this season, isn't really ever injured. 24 years old and probably will cost them a fair bit. Like you saw, Newcastle were trying to get 70 million for him or 80 million, or weren't they? Palace were, sorry, from Newcastle.
Yeah,
So it might be something like that. But with City, money's not a problem. So that's what I've got for them players.
them
So
115 charges though. Well, 116, I think, isn't it?
yeah, but they'll just add to them this season, then just deal with that whenever. Like so,
Yeah,
but yeah,
deal with it in
moving
10
on
years'
to you.
time.
Yeah, and then what about you, Devon?
Um, I've gone with, as you said, Zubimendi. I think they need to spend big on that role because for me, Rodri's, you know, knee injuries, especially to someone in the midfield, can play a really vital part in someone's career. And with track record, like seeing players track record with knee injuries, they tend to be a constant problem. And after Guardiola said in the press conference the other week, he played 75 games last season, Rodri. I imagine obviously a lot of them come with City, but
Mm,
um, they need look, they're a team who's going to be up there in every competition. So they need someone like Rodri, similar type of profile. Maybe Zubimendi isn't as physically on par with
yeah,
Rodri, but I don't doubt that his ball playing abilities and etc. will be anything uh, too far from Rodri. So that, as you said, I don't think I need to explain any more of many. I think that's like the perfect fit. This one, the second one, it's maybe a bit of a stretch, very unrealistic, but their main problem has been the midfield. They've just got too many tired legs.
all
They
right,
keep getting they
yeah.
keep getting overrun
Mm.
in midfield. but I don't think it's. They need to sign someone who has a bit of status already. Players like Doku and Savinho, obviously, well, he scored an assist today, but they're sort of upcoming. Doku
Yeah.
has had a few seasons with Stade Rennais beforehand, and obviously Savinho had his breakthrough season last year with Girona. But in the midfield, I think they need someone with a bit of experience, still young. I've gone with Camavinga from Real Madrid. Obviously, you are. I'm okay.
I like it.
I
Hear me
rate it.
out.
I rate it.
I don't think they're gonna. I think
Yeah,
they'll
yeah,
probably
yeah.
just stick to Zubimendi and a centre back this season. But I think, sorry, in January. But I think Camavinga could be one that they potentially look at next summer, or maybe try and look. I know Camavinga and Chouameni are the two players who are battling for game time. I know they're not playing their favoured positions. I think Chouameni's playing centre back at sometimes,
Yeah.
but and Camavinga playing out left back. But in terms of Guardiola, he loves the fact that players can play in different positions. No one's set to just one. I think Silva's picking up spaces out and left back today, which has just been a key thing throughout Guardiola's time at City. So I think Camavinga, obviously, he's had an amazing track record with Real Madrid. Still only 22, feels like he's been playing for years.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
Look, I'm expecting them to play 60, 70, maybe even 80. I'm not saying I'm expecting them to. If a team was going to pay for Camavinga, then that's probably how much they'd spend. But yeah, really explosive. Defensively, at left back, he does a good job. In centre mid, his natural position where he was playing before this left back, well, whatever. Sorry, he's playing really well there as well. So I think they need someone with some legs, man. They can't be doing this De Bruyne.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's what mainly City need, is that sort of a bit of injection of youth and some legs. But with a team that doesn't struggle with that, we'll move on to Chelsea, because for them,
whoa!
Didn't even get mine for City. Cheers,
Paul
Adam.
Ducker. Paul Ducker ain't even got his City shout.
I'm scared about the time. So Duckett, who have you
Yeah,
got?
no, to be fair, we have only got 7 minutes left, so we're going to have to rattle through
okay.
all of these. We just have to name the players and just
Yeah.
move on. But for City, all I wrote down was anyone they need squad depth.
Oh,
I think they can get anyone. They are that stature of club. They just need players in.
Players through the door, pretty much. But yeah.
Are we moving on to? Is it Arsenal?
Yeah. No, we've got Chelsea first. They're currently. I did it based off the table.
Okay.
I think
we just name the players now, because we've got 6 minutes.
Yeah. I went for Donnarumma from PSG, just because I think you need a keeper.
Okay. I can't even argue this now. Okay.
No,
go on.
I haven't got to argue, but I think keeper's your biggest problem. No. I think if you get a keeper in,
I'm not saying half a keeper, to be fair. So
I've also got Diamonde from Sporting, a young centre back. He fits the mold of Chelsea buying these young players. He will cost like 50, 60 mil, but he's always unreal on FM as well. But you bring them in, I think that'll be what you're missing, I think, to really push for the title. But moving on to Deben, who have you got them for Chelsea?
I've gone with striker and left back. Maybe a bit different to you guys, but I've gone with Liam Delap from Ipswich. Again, sticking to the strategy of you're a Norwich fan. My bad.
To be fair, Liam Delap's a really good player, so
yeah. So probably again one of them players that City, in hindsight, could have kept. Anyway, I don't think I need to say too. Again, sticks to the business strategy of Bowley and co. Left back, I've gone with Kirkes from Bournemouth. I think again, when Cucurella's been out against the Everton game, I don't know if any of you watched, but we really missed an overlapping fullback. Gusto is playing there, but he's right-footed. Again, this ain't no Philip Lamptey anymore. You need a left-footed left back out there.
Injured? That's why I've not seen Chilwell playing.
We're trying. Look, I think Chelsea's January is just going to be a clear out.
Do you think?
Yeah, because we don't really need to buy it. I think players like Dewsbury Hall, Cassidy, Chukwuemeka, and Chilwell, I think, will be sort of ushered out.
But
I think Kirkes is a good backup again. I'm 30 million. Yeah, Bosch. Yeah.
I've gone Jan Bissek from Inter Milan, young German centre half.
Yeah,
really like where he's come from in his career. Very, very good centre half. He's going to go on to very big things. I think if Chelsea can pick him up now, they're going to have a centre half that's going to stay there for years and win them trophies. And then goalkeeper, I've gone with Jordan Pickford. It's about time he's had an upgrade. I think he's outgrown Everton.
Not bad, to be fair. Yeah, I could see it.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I think Chelsea could definitely do with a better keeper. And I think Jordan Pickford is that. Right. So should we move? Are we now moving on to Arsenal?
Yeah. Who have you got for Arsenal, Ducker?
I've gone striker and left winger. I think it's just fairly obvious. Like
Yeah.
I've gone Victor Gyökeres and I've gone Nico Williams. I think two players.
Right, yeah. They're just going to fork out 200 million in January. Yeah,
Why
fair.
not? If they're serious about winning, right. Look, the thing is,
move
you're
swiftly
going
on
to
from
sign two
Ducker
players.
there.
Arsenal are
We'll
going to sign two players in January, but they need these two positions.
Yeah,
by the
no,
start
I
of
do
the season.
agree. Yeah, okay. I've
I
got a
think
bit more sense.
but they need
Sorry.
serious world class players. If they're going to compete for the title, and City going to come back next year, they're going to be fighting.
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Oh, no, I definitely think they need both of them, but I think they're too extreme of
I
signs.
think he's gone red again. He's raging.
Yeah,
and then Paul has signed from Norwich because they can't afford the Nico Williams. Like, no, they need two world class players. I've gone with Victor Gyökeres and Nico Williams. There we go. Right, move on because we've got 3.5 minutes.
Devin, who have you got them for Arsenal?
Again, similar to Duka, I've gone with Gyökeres. Also gone for winger, but not Nico Williams. I've gone with Antonio Nusa from Leipzig, left winger, 19. I think, explosive. Similar to kind of Martinelli, but I think he's got a bit too early to say output, but I think he's definitely one for the future. So I don't think they can't really fork out £200 million worth of signings for January.
Because I too have also gone for a left winger and striker. I went Osimhen again. I think because he's got that easy buyout. I think cheap. I think he's a good fit. And then I've gone on loan for Marcus Rashford. I can see it happening. I've said it from the
Two
minute.
loans though, Sterling and Rashford.
Yeah, but Rashford will actually play.
Sterling will get recalled though. To be fair,
I can see Rashford playing for Arsenal just for 6 months, proving himself to do all right, and then go. But moving on then to Liverpool, who obviously we're the best team right now. We don't really need anyone, but we do need a left back. So I've written either Kirkes or Robinson for left back. Either one, I'm happy with. I think Kirkes being a bit younger might be a bit better. And then as a backup DM/fullback, I've gone Kimmich. He's out of contract at the end of the season, so he will be 30, I think, by the end of the year. But you'll get him for cheap, cover for right back, experienced player.
It'll go for at least like 4 more years at the top.
It should be a better deal than what Thiago offered us, just based on the cheapness and.
Whoa!
As in based
already,
on what
he's already a club legend.
No, I love Thiago, but as in if Kimmich actually plays every week, then he's done better. So, What have you got for Liverpool?
Do you want me to go first?
I'll go just purely because I had Robinson as well. I think he's been really good for Fulham. Attacking threat is very good. Defensively, also pretty good.
I've gone for Anthony Robinson.
I think he's been a bit forward a few times. Yeah, he's gone forward.
He's such a threat going forward. Yeah. And then I've also gone for a centre back, maybe to kind of try and look for a solution for Van Dijk, whether he stays after this season. And he plays on the left side, so I've gone for left-footed centre back in Nico Schlotterbeck from Borussia Dortmund. 25. I thought he was a bit older. Again, he's been playing for years. Vital part of the Dortmund defence. Reached the Champions League final last season. Similar kind of traits as Van Dijk. I'm not saying that he will literally be the same as when he comes out, but I think in terms of physicality, ball playing ability, I think he could be a really good fit for you guys.
That's good. And Ducker to finish us off.
All right, because we have like 30 seconds left of this call. I've gone Alphonso Davies or Anthony Robinson, one of the two, and I've gone João Neves from PSG as well for Liverpool.
Oh, nice. Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, that's the end of the podcast before it shuts out. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Desmond, for coming on the podcast again. We'll be sure to have you on in the next
one again.
Yeah, and Happy New Year and hope you had a good Christmas. And we will see you later.